Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Colon, as part of the confirmation process, the Senate, of course, reviews nominees' past public statements. As you know, they help provide a complete picture of nominees' policy views, judgment, and temperament. A nominee shouldn't be able to avoid scrutiny by merely clicking a button marked delete, but unfortunately, that appears to be what you have tried to do. You deleted multiple tweets, including some with profane attacks on Republicans, and we recovered some through an Internet Archive website. But that website is not comprehensive, and so on June 9th, I sent you a letter asking you to request that Twitter try to recover your deleted tweets. My staff followed up with you, but you've refused to comply. So, Mr. Colon, my question is, why do you think it's okay to ignore a reasonable request for information from the ranking member of the committee with jurisdiction over HUD and your nomination?
Thank you for the question, Senator. I'd like to start by stating I'm deeply and genuinely sorry for my prior personal tweets. To be clear, I began to delete those tweets prior to the election and long before my nomination. It was an approach that was out of character with my professional, everything in my professional and personal life. But just to be perfectly clear, that's by way of explanation. It's not an excuse, Senator. Posting these tweets was wrong. I take full responsibility for my actions. I have apologized on the record and publicly.
My question is, why did you not respond to my letter and that request that you retrieve those that were deleted?
Thank you, Senator. It's my understanding that you may have received a letter last night in response to your letter.
Last night? I sent you the letter on June 9th. You send me a letter. This is the first time hearing of it, the night before the hearing. Did you include all the tweets that you had deleted?
Thank you for the question, Senator. As I mentioned before, I began to delete any personal tweets long before my nomination. I've apologized publicly.
It wasn't terribly long before, because some of the tweets are fairly recent. I mean, in January 21st of 2020, you were tweeting about the impeachment. You replied to a tweet about Senator Collins saying, "It really seems like we're reliving the 8th grade with these clowns, doesn't it?" You included a meme of Pee Wee Herman. Do you think Senator Collins is a clown?
Thank you, Senator. No, I do not. I am deeply and genuinely sorry for those tweets. They were out of character with everything that
you say they're out of character, but there were many that we discovered that were not deleted. Then we found some through this archive. You, in October of 2019, seemed to agree with a characterization of Americans who voted for Donald Trump as deplorables. I would point out that almost half of Americans did vote for President Trump, half of the voters, and some of them work at HUD. Let me bring your attention to one in particular, because it suggests a disturbing disregard for the law. On September 12, 2019, you retweeted a tweet from another Twitter user who posted a video and tweeted, quote, "This hero stopped 2 undocumented immigrants who were passengers in his car from being arrested by ICE. In response, you wrote," and I quote, I think we have the tweet here, "This Brian McCormick guy is so GD #badass to stand his ground against 2 ICE officers on behalf of 2 others. I'm in awe of his resolve. #heroic resolve. #BAMF. All right, this isn't profane insults, but it suggests that you're celebrating a person who's interfering with the federal government's lawful apprehension of people who enter this country illegally. Is that your position?
Thank you, Senator. It is not my position. As I mentioned before, I have deleted the tweets, as many as I found, long before my nomination. Once this became an issue, rather than continue to delete the remainder of those tweets and have my motivations be questions, I decided to come here to the committee.
But then let me ask, do you acknowledge that it is actually against the law to interfere with a law enforcement officer's attempt to perform a lawful arrest?
Thank you, Senator. I would have. I guess I'm in the general sense. I would have to agree.
Right. And it appears in your tweet that you were celebrating someone who did exactly that unlawful act. This is so it goes beyond the profane insults, it suggests a disregard for the law, at least in this regard, and who knows what the content is of those that you've chosen not to provide for us. So, Mr. Chairman, I'm running out of time. I do want to point out I have some concerns about Mr. Jemison's history in Detroit, Ms. McCargo's tenure at Fannie Mae. I'm going to send specific questions for the record to our nominees, and I expect that these nominees, not HUD staff, will actually answer the questions, unlike some other nominees that have come before this committee. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Menendez from New Jersey is recognized for 5 minutes.